So most people trying to lose weight focus on one thing, and that's burning calories. They hop on the treadmill, cut the food, track the math. But what if that's backwards? Because the key to burning fat long term isn't cardio, it's building muscle. This is episode 58 of the Obesity Project. Welcome. My name is Dr. Mark Schenkman, and today's episode, we're talking about how muscle is metabolic gold. And these two guys behind me definitely understood that. So, muscle isn't just about aesthetics or strength, although these guys look pretty good. Muscle is an endocrine organ. It's a living, dynamic system that influences everything from blood sugar, inflammation, insulin sensitivity, and basal metabolic rate. Muscle is where the glucose is stored. It's where insulin gets used, and it's your biggest buffer against fat gain and metabolic disease. The more muscle you have, the more carbs you can handle without spiking your insulin. And the more metabolically flexible you become, the less effort it takes to stay lean. So, cardio burns calories in the moment. Muscle burns calories around the clock. Which would you rather have? I know which I'd rather have. Cardio says burn more today. Muscle says burn more every day. And while cardio can be helpful for cardiovascular health, it doesn't protect you from the hormonal storm of obesity like muscle does. So here's what resistance training does is it lowers fasting insulin and increases GLUT4 receptors for glucose disposal. It preserves lean mass during weight loss, and it reduces visceral fat even if your scale doesn't change. And I've noticed this myself while on carnivore diet and doing resistance training. This is why two people with the same weight and the same diet can have completely different metabolic health. It's based on their muscle mass. So we're going to talk about how muscle loss equals metabolic decline. Starting at age 30, most people lose 3 to 8% of their muscle mass per decade. By 60, you could have lost 15 to 20% of your muscle. By 80, you could have developed sarcopenia, which is muscle wasting, which becomes a serious health risk. And what replaces that lost muscle? Not nothing, not air. Things like fat and insulin resistance and frailty and disease. So muscle loss isn't just an aesthetic issue. It's the beginning of metabolic collapse. And if you're over age 40 like I am and not actively building muscle or protecting your muscle, you're accelerating the aging process. So how do we build and protect that muscle that we realize now is so extraordinarily valuable? Well, here's what it takes. First, you need to prioritize protein. You need to aim for 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight. That's ideal body weight, not what the scale says. You can look that up, easy to search that online. And then you want to distribute that across 2 to 3 meals. So that goal of, basically 1 gram per pound is over the course of a day. And you don't want to undereat, especially as you age. Secondly, you want to do strength training 2 to 4 times per week. You want to focus on compound lifts, things that include multiple muscle groups, things like squats and deadlifts and push and pull, things that basically create progressive overload, slowly increasing the resistance over time. Then you want to rest, you want to recover, and you want to repeat. You also want to use carbs strategically. Post-training, that's a good time for whole food carbs. If you're going to eat carbs, post-training is an excellent time to do that. It refuels the muscle without spiking the insulin and without getting massive glucose spikes, which causes that insulin increase. So you want to do it post-training and you want to do it through whole food carbs. And then you want to make sure that you're getting enough sleep and you're managing stress. Cortisol, overtraining, and poor sleep can all break down muscle. And recovery, that's where your muscles grow. So this isn't bodybuilder advice. I'm not a bodybuilder. If you saw me standing up full screen, you'd know I'm not a bodybuilder. But this is metabolic medicine. So if you're trying to lose fat, don't just chase the scale. Protect your muscle, build your muscle, because muscle is your metabolic reserve. It's your glucose sink. Most of the glucose gets stored in your muscle. It's the biggest sink for all of that glucose, as well as the liver, but your muscles are primary. It's also a great hormonal stabilizer, and it's your best long-term insurance against metabolic disease. So the best fat burning organ in your body isn't your liver, it's your muscle. And in episode 59, we'll tackle the myth that PCOS makes weight loss impossible and break down how insulin resistance drives PCOS and how women can actually reverse it. So until then, lift heavy like my friends behind me. Take a page out of Arnold and Lou Ferrigno. Be a little bit of the Terminator and be a little bit of the Hulk. Lift those heavy weights, women included. And you need to eat smart and you need to protect your metabolic gold. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time and your attention. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Make sure to hit that bell notification to get new videos on a daily basis from me. And like, share, and comment as always. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next video.